Imagine buying an old wine cabinet at a yard sale, and within days, you start seeing something moving in the corner of your room. Then the nightmares begin. You wake up gasping for air. Your house starts smelling like something rotten. And eventually, you begin wondering one terrifying question. Did you bring something home with you? That is the story behind one of America's most infamous paranormal objects, the Dybbuk Box, a small wooden wine cabinet that became an internet legend after its owner claimed that terrifying things began happening after he purchased it. But here's where the story gets even stranger, because according to Jewish folklore, a Dybbuk is believed to be a restless spirit that can attach itself to a living person. And some people believe this box wasn't simply haunted. They believe it was sealed for a reason. The backstory. The story begins in Portland, Oregon. In the early 2000s, a man named Kevin Mannis purchased an old wooden wine cabinet from an estate sale. The seller reportedly told him that the cabinet had belonged to her grandmother. According to the story, the grandmother had survived the Holocaust and had brought the box with her after escaping Europe. But there was something unusual about it. The seller allegedly warned Mannis never to open it. He didn't listen. When he opened the cabinet, he reportedly found several strange objects inside: coins, a small statue, a dried rosebud, a golden wine goblet, and what appeared to be a single strand of hair. Mannis eventually gave the box to his mother as a birthday gift, and according to his account, that was when everything changed. The first warning. Mannis later claimed that his mother suddenly experienced something disturbing after receiving the box. She reportedly suffered a frightening medical episode, and according to the story, she repeatedly tried to give the box back, but Mannis didn't understand why. He eventually took it back. Then the strange experiences allegedly started happening to him. He claimed he began having disturbing nightmares. Not normal nightmares, the kind that leave you awake in the darkness, trying to convince yourself that what you just saw wasn't real. Then came another detail. According to Mannis, people around him began experiencing unusual dreams involving the same strange elderly woman, different people, different nights, but supposedly the same figure. The box changes hands. Eventually, the Dybbuk Box was sold again, and this is where the legend became even more famous. The box ended up in the hands of a college student named Jason Haxton. Haxton reportedly purchased it on eBay in 2003. At first, it was simply an unusual antique, but according to Haxton, things quickly became disturbing. He claimed that after bringing the box home, members of his family began experiencing strange problems, and then came the physical symptoms. Haxton reportedly developed strange health issues. He described feeling sick and experiencing disturbing sensations that he associated with the box. His family became frightened, and eventually he began researching its history. That research led him to the word that would define the entire legend: Dybbuk. What is a Dybbuk? In Jewish folklore, a Dybbuk is traditionally described as a restless or malicious spirit believed to attach itself to a living person. The concept comes from Jewish mystical traditions. But here's something important. The Dybbuk Box itself is not a proven supernatural object. There is no scientific evidence showing that a spirit was actually trapped inside it, and some of the most famous details surrounding the box have been disputed. Still, the legend became enormous because people weren't just interested in the box. They were interested in what supposedly happened to the people who owned it. The pattern. Think about the stories surrounding the box. Nightmares, illness, strange smells, unexplained sensations. a feeling of being watched, and repeatedly, the belief that something had followed the box from one owner to another. That creates a terrifying possibility. What if the box wasn't the source of the experiences? What if it was simply the object people blamed when strange things happened? Or what if the object really did have a history that nobody understood? That's the question that made the Dybbuk Box famous. The most disturbing part. Eventually, the box became connected to paranormal investigations and internet stories. People began discussing it on forums. Videos appeared online. Stories spread. And suddenly, this little wooden cabinet wasn't just an antique anymore. It was supposedly cursed. One of the most famous stories claims that people who possessed the box experienced disturbing dreams or physical problems. Some even believed that opening the box could invite something into your home, and that idea created a terrifying rule: don't open it. Because if the legend is true, the box may not have been designed to contain something forever. It may have been designed to keep something out. The twist, but there's another side to the story. Much of what we know about the Dybbuk Box comes from accounts connected to its owners and later retellings. That means many of the supernatural claims cannot be independently verified. The box's story also became increasingly popular through media coverage and online paranormal communities. So there are really two versions of the Dybbuk Box. One is a terrifying paranormal legend. The other is a mysterious antique, surrounded by stories that grew more frightening every time they were retold. And honestly, that uncertainty might be the creepiest part, because if you knew for certain that the box was haunted, you could simply stay away. But if you don't know, you start asking yourself questions. What really happened? Which parts were exaggerated? And which parts were never explained? The climax. Imagine standing alone in a dark room. The Dybbuk Box is sitting on a table. Nothing is moving. Nothing is happening. You reach toward the wooden cabinet, and then you stop, because suddenly you remember the stories, the nightmares, the illness, the warnings, the idea that something might be waiting inside. You pull your hand away. The room becomes completely silent, and for just a second, you think you hear something behind you. You turn around. Nothing. You look back at the box. Still closed. Still silent. And that's when the real horror begins. Because you don't know whether the box is haunted, or whether your own mind has simply convinced you that it is. Outro. The Dybbuk Box remains one of America's most famous paranormal legends. A small wooden cabinet surrounded by stories of nightmares, illness, strange experiences, and a supposedly restless spirit. But whether you believe it's genuinely cursed, or simply one of the most successful paranormal stories ever told, there's one question I want you to answer. If someone offered you the Dybbuk Box for free, would you take it home? Or would you leave it exactly where you found it? Because sometimes, the smartest thing you can do with a cursed object is never touch it in the first place.